Deep within the bowels of a long-abandoned research facility, hidden from the prying eyes of the world, lies a vault of data that holds secrets beyond imagination. These digital archives, locked away for decades, contain a treasure trove of scientific mysteries that have eluded understanding for generations. As we embark on this journey into the unknown, prepare to be captivated by enigmas that defy conventional wisdom and challenge the very boundaries of human knowledge. Today, we unlock the doors to this vault, and the mysteries it holds will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the world around us. Welcome to the heart of scientific suspense. Welcome to Enigma Stories. In a tragic workplace accident, a man found himself hospitalized due to severe radiation poisoning. After seeing a blinding blue flash and immediately vomiting, medical personnel initially believed he was fine, with one even thinking he might be well enough to leave the hospital. However, beneath the surface, his body was undergoing a slow and agonizing transformation. The human body is a marvel of complexity, and though it possesses some regenerative capabilities, the urban myth that our cells completely renew every 7 years isn't entirely accurate. What if we lost the ability to regenerate cells? How long could a body remain alive under such circumstances? This is the harrowing story of Hisashi Ouchi, the most irradiated man in history, his family's unwavering determination, and his 3-month battle for survival as his body deteriorated. Nuclear energy represents one path for humanity to transition away from fossil fuels, a critical step as we face the pressing issue of climate change. Now let's dive into the astonishing story of Hisashi Ouchi. The Tokaimura nuclear plant, situated in the Japanese fishing village of Tokai, was commissioned in 1988, operated by JCO, formerly Japan Nuclear Fuel Conversion Company. The plant primarily supplied research and experimental reactors for Japan's scientific community. However, it wasn't connected to the energy grid. In September 1999, a catastrophic accident occurred. Workers were tasked with dissolving uranium oxide powder in nitric acid, but changes in procedures and safety shortcuts had been implemented without proper authorization, leading to a dangerous situation. Instead of using specialized tanks and equipment to prevent accidents, workers were essentially mixing uranium manually. On the fateful morning of September 30, 1999, Hisashi Ouchi, Masato Shinohara, and their supervisor Yutaka Yokokoa were manually mixing a highly dangerous amount of enriched uranium. A blue flash erupted, causing intense nausea among all 3 men. This flash was Cherenkov radiation, emitted when charged particles move faster through a medium than light. In this case, the water in the precipitation tank slowed down light, but not the reactive uranium particles, resulting in a sudden burst of gamma radiation. Their coworkers, donning hazardous suits, rushed in to rescue them and transported them to a nearby hospital. It was there that medical staff assessed their radiation exposure levels. The unit used for measurement was sieverts, and typical lethal radiation exposure for Chernobyl workers who died within a month was 6 sieverts, with the highest non-lethal exposure at around 1 sievert. In this case, Yokokoa received 3 sieverts, Shinohara received 10 sieverts, and Ouchi, the most severely affected, received a staggering 17 sieverts. Ouchi was later transferred to Tokyo University Hospital due to the severity of his condition. Dr. Maekawa, the lead doctor, was chosen for his expertise in emergency radiation medicine. He initially noticed that the NIRS, National Institute of Radiological Sciences, staff wore protective suits and masks, suggesting high contamination levels. Strangely, despite the massive radiation dose, Ouchi appeared physically fine initially and could communicate with the medical staff. However, radiation began damaging Ouchi's chromosomes, the blueprints of genetic information, preventing cell reproduction. This became evident in his plummeting white blood cell count, leaving him vulnerable to even minor infections. To prevent this, Ouchi was isolated in a sterile room, away from potential contaminants. Meanwhile, medical teams searched for a cell donor, and miraculously, One of Ouchi's siblings was a compatible match. Stem cells were extracted from her blood and transplanted into Ouchi in a desperate attempt to restore his immune system. As days passed, Ouchi's condition deteriorated visibly. His skin reddened and his arms swelled. Radiation continued its assault, causing skin to tear when medical equipment was removed. It was a painful transformation to witness. Dr. Maikoa attempted to convey the severity of Ouchi's situation to his family. Ouchi's lungs began retaining fluids, making breathing difficult, and staff contemplated using a ventilator, which would prevent him from communicating with his loved ones. Ouchi cried out for his mother and expressed his longing to go home. Despite the challenges, Ouchi's family visited him daily, practicing senbajuru by folding thousands of origami cranes, a traditional gesture for good health. 10 days after the stem cell transplant, signs of hope emerged as his white blood cell count began to rise. Although he remained intubated and unable to speak, Ouchi could respond to his family's gestures. However, a week later, mutations appeared in his blood, indicating damage to the transplanted chromosomes due to the intense radiation. Ouchi's condition extended beyond his skin and blood. His intestinal cells began to die, risking sepsis. His diarrhea intensified, accompanied by intestinal bleeding, necessitating multiple blood transfusions daily. To manage his excruciating pain, Ouchi received a significant amount of narcotics. Despite the drugs, he continued to suffer. Ouchi's body was covered in gauze, and his eyes bled. Due to his massive fluid loss, a special bed was used to aid his circulation. It was evident that a skin transplant was the only option left, but the cultured skin cells struggled to adhere to his deteriorating body. Despite the bleak outlook, Dr. Maikoa and his team pressed on, driven by a deep conviction, to save Ouchi's life. Almost 2 months after the accident, Ouchi's heart began to fail, and his heart rate skyrocketed to twice the normal rate. His heart stopped and started multiple times, but he remained alive. Yet these repeated failures took a toll, and he lost consciousness. Ouchi's immune cells began attacking his own body, requiring even more blood transfusions to prevent self-destruction. Despite these efforts, his body was in a state of crisis. On the 81st day following the accident, Dr. Maikoa and Ouchi's family gathered, agreeing to a do not resuscitate order should his heart stop again. On the 21st of December 1999, Ouchi passed away, surrounded by his family's unwavering love and support. Dr. Maikoa, who retired the following spring, reflected on the tragic incident, recognizing the limitations of medical intervention against such catastrophic radiation exposure. He continued his work to establish medical procedures for radiation exposure cases, emphasizing the importance of preparedness. The Tokaimura nuclear accident was Japan's worst nuclear incident until the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear meltdown in 2011. Today, the use of nuclear power faces challenges, and conversations about its role in our energy future are ongoing. While nuclear power contributes to global energy generation and offers a low-carbon alternative to fossil fuels, it is not without risks. As we navigate these challenges, we must consider the benefits and drawbacks of nuclear energy, renewable alternatives, and the lessons learned from incidents like that of Hisashi Ouchi. In conclusion, the story of Hisashi Ouchi serves as a poignant reminder of the profound impact of radiation exposure and the ethical dilemmas surrounding extreme medical interventions. While we may have our opinions about Ouchi's treatment and the decisions made by his family and medical team, it is a situation most of us can only imagine. The legacy of Hisashi Ouchi should encourage us to continue striving for safe and sustainable energy sources while prioritizing human life and well-being. So, dear viewers, quench your curiosity by joining us on this mesmerizing adventure into the unknown. Subscribe now to Bizarre Enigma Stories and ensure you never miss a moment of our enigmatic tales. Together, we'll uncover the secrets that lie just beyond the veil of understanding, one revelation at a time.